Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of our MotoGP25 Career Mode. Today we're here with episode 8 at the Aragon circuit, our second home race in Spain, and as you can see we are running a slightly different helmet. It's pretty much the same kind of design as our base helmet, but we've just kind of got a yellow theme going on just to switch it up for the Spanish race. But yeah guys, let's see what we can do here. Let's try and put behind us that misery of a Silverstone Grand Prix and try and achieve something better here in Aragon.
Welcome to all you MotoGP fans, Gavin Emmett here, and we are live from Alcañiz, ready to bring you the Aragon Grand Prix. In a few moments, we'll move to the main straight to watch the start of the Moto3 race.
Alright, here we are then, trackside at Aragon. Beautiful sunny weather, 22 air, 37 track. That is exactly what you want in Spain. Gotta say, there is a lot of Spanish races on the calendar. You know, when you come to think about it, 4 races, it's kind of crazy. But here we are then on the grid. Now, the front row is the exact same front row as the previous episode, just kind of reshuffled a little bit. We've got Vicaris then on pole position, Raider in third. Again, he is Mr. Consistent. We've got 299s on the front row. As you saw, we were second place. And then I think we've got our usual kind of group behind us with Kelso and Bertele and Co. Almanza down in 24th, and I think Fernandez is somewhere at the back there too. Leopard are really struggling. Their bike, even though they're leading the team championship, their bike is dreadful now for some reason. It is falling off dramatically in this second half of the season after the summer break, so that is rather unfortunate for them. Not for us, but here we are then, down at the grid. Now, objectives, as you can see, we need to beat Munoz. We've been doing that consistently throughout the season, so I don't think that will be too much of a trauma. I don't really know where he's even starting, but we did beat him in terms of the rivalry. I mean, we destroyed him. I think we have like 70 odd points ahead of him, but we need to beat him for this specific Grand Prix as a challenge. So I did see him just there on the third row, I think that is. So let's see how it goes then. Here we are then on the grid. 5 red lights are on, and 5 red lights are still on. And away we go. They were on for a long time as Vicaris gets a lightning start there. Not us, unfortunately, but we are going to maintain, I believe. Anyway, second place as we do. Slightly, I think it looked like we might have just gone off the track there. We did have a faller in the background. No idea who that was, but I did just see someone respawn there. But yeah, Vicaris then maintains the lead, and let's see for how long, because we're obviously going to be going for it after that previous Grand Prix. Maybe even into here. It would be a bit of a unorthodox overtake. It was never on, but maybe into this next corner, if we can just line it up here. We didn't go off the road into turn 1 as we slightly kind of barged Vicaris there, but nothing too dramatic that, you know, warranting an investigation or anything. But yeah, just showing him, that I can play that game too, mate. You want to get silly billy with it in Silverstone, I can get silly billy with it too. But let's see how it goes. And he's got the inside into Marc Marquez corner here. When Marc Marquez, is that new, or is that always been called Marc Marquez? I didn't know that. But here we go then, up through turn 11. We're going to try to go back up the inside here. It's going to be a tricky one as we get really close to Vicaris once again into turn 12. And he is going to get us, but we do have the inside into turn 13, and Raider might even follow us through here into this next corner. He has, so that is good for our sake. And in terms of I think Raider is behind Vicaris in the championship, so this is the kind of order we would want if this was to be the podium. But we are going to be unfazed, seemingly, into this final corner on this first lap. We've got a really good exit out of that little kind of chicane complex, so that was pretty good. And yeah, we kind of just, were too far away, I suppose, for them to really kind of benefit from the slipstream. But we're going to lead a lap here in Aragon. We haven't really done many of these, and let's just see if we can keep it up, really, because when you think about it, this is our first kind of time at the front, really. We might have just slightly gone off the road there. That one looks a little bit closer to the green then lap 1. We'll see here. Yes, we do have a track limit now, so I need to be careful about that because, you know, like I say, we're in the lead, and we haven't really done this all that often because that win we got in Austin, you know, we didn't lead any laps, I don't believe, and we haven't really, we maybe led one in Jerez, but we haven't had laps, consecutive laps, just clearer in the lead. And we've got that moment now, and we just need to try and enjoy it and not get too over flustered with it all as we're kind of backing it into this tricky little complex. I really hate that little, not so much turn 8, but that turn 9. Oh, not a fan of that corner whatsoever. And as you can see, we are running 1 EBS in this Grand Prix as we slightly go off the road again. As we look back at Rueda, and that looks like we're a little bit deep into there. Doesn't look like it was too sort of traumatic though, but yeah, we are running 1 EBS in this just to try and stabilize the bike a little bit, because these kind of corners, you know, I don't really want that kind of bike movement, but we're kind of getting it regardless, so we need to be careful about that and you know, not go and crash out. But as you can see, we have moved to the right hand side of the track here because I don't want these AI getting a slipstream, and unfortunately MotoGP AI, they're not intelligent enough, I suppose, to you know, to just move over and get the slipstream basically like they would on like Formula 1 and stuff. So that is good for us. It's definitely going to be a tactic and a little technique that we are going to be using throughout this Grand Prix to try and keep this lead, as Vicaris now does slot himself up into second place and will try to, you know, pursue us, which is going to be a scary thing, although he is a little bit of a obscure line there, although so are we off the road. Both of us having a little bit of a mare through there. But yeah, we've lost a little bit of time now, as Rueda even might actually be in front of us. He is, as we go back onto the gameplay perspective. We are going to try and send it back up the inside. It's a little bit of a tight line though, so we're going to lose that position and dip onto the green again. This time though, luckily no actual warning, but yeah, we have lost that lead now, which is rather annoying, as Vicaris parks it right in front of us into turn 9. Which is even more annoying. Just kind of halted our momentum, and a little bit of a tight line here, so we just need to calm down now, not get too flustered. You know, just because we've lost the lead doesn't mean we need to start riding erratically. We just need to, you know, maintain calmness and just try and stay with ease as we come into this turn 12, almost running into the back of Vicaris. Oh dear me. You can tell when I get flustered with these career modes, but I come back to these videos to like voice over them and stuff. It's so long after that I actually done the recording. You can tell when I'm just like fuming. But yeah, here we go then onto this back straight. This time round is going to be Rueda then leading us, and yeah, we're in the slipstream. Nothing's really happening. We were quite far back though coming onto this straight, so I suppose it is natural. But yeah, into this final corner, we're going to try and just calm ourselves down now that we've got a rabbit, I suppose you could say, to like chase and a target, you know, with markers and stuff. We're just going to compose ourselves, and I'm sure we will regather pace and confidence, as Rueda has a little bit of a moment there. So can we capitalize on this and get by him straight away, as his bike was all over the place into turn 1. We are going to go up the inside. We do have a yellow flag though, so we're going to have to give that position back. It seems like maybe we just left the yellow sector, or it might have just gone green just in time. I'm not too sure. Either way, we have given it back to him, because I thought, you know, I overtook him in a yellow flag basically. So yeah, I was a little bit surprised about that. Maybe we did overtake him in a green flag and we just gave him the position for absolutely no reason, which could bite us, you know, on the foot. Could be a calamity by the end of the race. We'll have to see, as Kelso tries to get up the inside and makes us creep off the track once again. Luckily no warning. We are creeping off the track a little bit more often than not in this Grand Prix. We're kind of a little bit all over the place really. Not too sure really what the reason is for that. Maybe I was a little bit distracted at the time of doing this particular race. I remember feeling really confident and really quick around Aragon, but you know, voiceover in it now, and I'm seeing a lot of mistakes and stuff. It's like, oh god, what's going on here? But yeah, onto this back straight. We are a little bit closer, I would say, to Raider, who seems to have lost time to Picaris. So it's going to give us a little bit of work to do going on to the final lap. But we're definitely going to try and line up Raider into turn 1, or, you know, these opening couple corners, because we're a lot closer now than what we was on that previous lap as we run that tighter line, trying to get a little bit closer. We have clawed, I'd say, a bike in M4 too, so we're going to get a little bit more benefit from that slipstream. But yeah, unfortunately our bike isn't really all that quick. But yeah, into turn 1, unfortunately Raider is nice and stable this time round. We are going to try and line it up again into this corner, but we kind of just leant in a little bit too early, and that well, the curb basically sat us up. It wasn't me kind of adjusting my line, it was the curb kind of pushing me up. But Raider though looks a little bit like he's in an aggressive mood here. Looks like he might be possibly even thinking of going for the lead, as we almost crept off the road there, which wouldn't have been ideal because we've got another warning from that previous little moment, and we're probably on like 3 or 4 warnings here, so we need to be careful about that. Definitely don't need a long lap at this stage of the race, as Munoz is right behind us here. A rider that I said we might not need to worry about is just there as we almost get up the inside of Raider into turn 9. That would have been a great move if we managed to pull that one off. It would have been a very you know, unplanned move, and it would have been very satisfying, but unfortunately wasn't to be. But maybe into turn 12 we're going to get up the inside. We're going to have to try and park it in front of him, because we can't really afford to lose a position, as we do kind of manage to kind of pull it off in a bit of a weird way. But the end goal was what we wanted, so it's going to be just us now and Picaris. We're going to have to try and close up down the little kind of corkscrew corner, and we're not too far back here in this slipstream. We might actually start closing in. As you can see from this aerial drone, we are closing in, and we're going to go side by side now with Picaris into this final corner. We just need to level him, nothing too crazy, as we just about do that. He has got the lead though around the outside, but surely with the inside line we are going to get that position, and we do slot ourselves in front of him. It's going to be a drag race to the line, but thankfully for us that line is a little bit earlier than what the actual start line is, because otherwise I think we would have lost that one. And we do win another race in our career mode. It's been a very long time, you know, since we've won a race that has been a legitimate win, because the Austin win, we were absolutely miles off of the win. It was only because of a crash that we managed to get that result. So absolutely amazing. You know, it's been a good weekend. I gotta say, not the best, cleanest of weekends. We were a little bit all over the pace. Maybe it kind of proves that our quali pace was better than our race pace, and was kind of overriding the bike a little bit in the Grand Prix. But even so, we didn't go over the limits, amount and get a penalty or anything. So we played our cards right, and we are back in Parc Ferme, back celebrating with the people after a couple weekends where we haven't been here, and we get to display our yellow helmet. Like I say, it's pretty much the base helmet, but we just kind of slap some yellow on there for the bands. But yeah, we did manage to beat Munoz. Like I say, he did manage to creep up there. He got that podium in the end, managed to capitalize on the moment with me and Raider. And I did say earlier on, I think we're going to get possibly Picaris and Raider in our little rivalry thing, and that is exactly what's happened. One will give us development and one will give us a contract, so we're going to go for this one, just to assure ourselves a contract from them lot for Season 2 if we're not to get a good offer from Moto2 teams for whatever reason. I mean, we're showing good performance. I mean, we're leading the championship, but we're not exactly winning. So a lot of things. Obviously, we won this race, but we're not exactly, I would say, a standout rider per se. So we have to see how that goes. But yeah, for the first time, I think, or at least the first time in a long time, we are going to start sending the team to focus on the frame and make the bike turn a little bit better. and see if we can just improve that. But as you can see, we've got some rumors here about us going to Blue Crew Pramac Yamaha Moto 2, and I don't know who's starting these rumors. I don't know who's saying these things. We got Lunetta here talking about it. I don't know where he's heard this from, but yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't believe this is gonna happen. Blue Crew Yamaha, I don't think that's a team that can give me a bike that will be able to fight for the World Championship. I think you're gonna need a bike that's gonna be a decent one to be up there. But as we come into the end of the summer break here, or to start the summer break, this is what we've managed to achieve: 2 races, 6 podiums, well, 2 wins, sorry, 6 podiums. So decent stuff there. 2 fast laps, 3 poles. Here is the World Championship. I think we are going to look at the other classes also. Aaron Canet leads Moto 2 by 7 points. And then MotoGP is led by Marc Marquez over Bagnaia, 6 points. So yeah guys, that is the end of today's episode. And I will see you with a brand new episode in Mugello for round 9 very soon.